So what is human at work? Well, the outline of this is something to do with the recognition that quite a lot of people come to work with a persona. There's nothing inherently wrong with the idea of coming to work with a persona, but if that persona is not really adequate for the culture, or is perhaps overly aggressive or demeaning of others or bullying of others, then clearly that persona is not really the right thing for the organisation, and not much good either for the development of teams and good high performance teams. And there are choices around this, and I think the elements of persona can be separated, if you like, between those that are good and those that are bad. And those that are good are largely what we call authentic. In other words, they're not acts, not sort of putting on a face specifically for work, which doesn't really represent who you truly are. Now, when people do that, it tends to lead to a level of distrust in some of the people some of the time. Now, some people will be taken in by that perhaps, but others will just feel uneasy. They may not be able to put a finger specifically on what it is that unsettles them about that individual, but they will still feel unease and a lack of trust. And of course that leads to a lack of wanting to follow that person, to work specifically for that person. They're more likely to be working more for themselves and protecting their own space rather than really moving into the team spirit. So bad persona can work very badly for whole teams. Now, good persona will be, as I say, authentic elements of an individual that they choose to bring into work. And those obviously still have to meet the cultural requirements and still meet the performance requirements as well for that organisation. There is a third way, which I call human at work, which is pretty much to bring all of who you are to work. Now, that might also include things like compassion, the sort of compassion that you show your children, caring, giving a damn, listening well, making the workplace more like a well-balanced, humanistic place, a bit like a good home, where people are supported, listened to, want to belong, want to work hard for one another, and want to be part of a team. So human at work then, as a modus operandi for working companies, can be a real treasure for developing and changing a culture so that the people and valuing people becomes part of the humanity, part of the real core belief and values of the organisation. Of course, when you've got values and beliefs, you can then translate those within a business so that they represent and are formed by the people in the business, and they can all stick and adhere to it. You can measure those, you can form performance management criteria for those, benchmarking those criteria in behaviour and performance that you're looking for within the workplace. Human at work then is a philosophy for change, for performance, for health, for contentment at work. That doesn't mean slothfulness, that can mean high performance, high alertness, but it does mean it's humanistic and people may be smiling a lot more than they are at work right now. Thanks for listening.